How's it going, you guys? 2019 is coming to an end very quickly, and a decade ago, people didn't even know what Hokas were, and they were running around in these things. But not just in the last decade. In the past year, 2019 alone, a lot of great changes and innovation have been coming from running shoe brand. So let's visit some of these accomplishments as well as touch on some of the things that are coming in 2020. So I'm going to say it that 2019 was the year that Hoka saw redemption for the Clifton. They did this by releasing the lighter and softer Clifton 6. But in 2019, Hoka also introduced the high-cushioned carbon-plated Carbon X that broke the 50-mile world record. And we can't forget about the Rincon, a lighter and speedier cousin to the Clifton. Speaking of speed, new racing flats like the Rehi and the Carbon Rocket X were also introduced. So in 2020, Hoka has a lot of great things coming, including a couple models of the Clifton, as well as an update to the popular trail shoe, the Torrent. So when people think Nike in 2019, they're gonna think about the Next Percent. This was their upgrade to the 4% and is essentially what the Vaporfly Elite was a couple years back. They also fattened the Zoom Fly and tweaked the Peg Turbo. Next year we'll have a completely redesigned Pegasus 37, and we could possibly even see the highly controversial Alpha Fly, which is the shoe Kipchoge wore to break the 2-hour marathon barrier, which is something to point out in 2019 alone. That's a crazy feat. So in 2020 you can bet there's going to be a lot of exciting things to come. So I think Saucony had a memorable 2019 for a couple of reasons. First, it killed off the ISOFIT, and second, because of Power Run Plus. The Triumph 17 is a prime example of this. It got rid of the ISOFIT upper for a much cleaner modern upper, and it hosts that Power Run Plus Tpu Midsole, which provides that boost-like bounce, but not as hefty. But this year is just a stepping stone for what's to come in 2020 when Saucony releases its Endorphin series, which includes carbon-plated racers. So 2019 for Brooks was solid. They had some great updates across the board, but next year they'll be introducing a new midsole material. It has even been compared to Skechers Hyperburst midsole. They'll also have new marathon racing shoes, including the Hyperion Elite that has a carbon plate. In 2019, Asics took a page out of Hoka's playbook by introducing high-cushioned and rockered running shoes, namely the Glide Ride and the Meta Ride. The Glide Ride turned out to be a fan favorite. Next year, they're adding the Nova Blast and Evo Ride, which are both continuing with that Hoka influence, giving the people what they want, but also keeping that signature gel. New Balance really showed up in 2019. The Beacon 2 was a hit, the completely redesigned 1080 was phenomenal, and let's not forget about the Fuel Cell, which had a lot of hype behind it. I can see 2020 bringing more great updates, more fresh Foam X, and even more carbon plates. So finally on my list is Skechers. Skechers seemed to have a great 2019 by incorporating more Hyperburst into their lineup. And in 2020, that trend is definitely going to continue. A new shoe that has me excited is the Razor 3 Plus Hyper. It's a mouthful, but looks like an amazing shoe. Maybe one of these days I'll have to review a pair of Skechers. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments below. Well, as you can see, 2019 was a very exciting year for running shoes. 2020 will only continue with the arms race for the best high-cushion carbon-plated racing shoe, especially with the Olympic trials. Subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos I have coming out in the new year, and as always, keep on running.